Good morning. The poem for today is The Soldier by Rupert Brooke. Rupert Brooke was was known as a war poet because he wrote many poems around the war period. See, the First World War took place from 1914 to 1918. Here is a poet. You can see his picture, a very handsome one. He was an English poet. He died young. He was born in 1887 and he died in 1915. He was idealistic. He wrote war sonnets during the First World War, which began in 1914. He was known for his good looks, and W.B. Yeats described him as the handsomest young man in England. You just saw his picture. Here is the poem. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped and made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by the suns of foam. And think this heart, all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given, her sights and sounds, dreams, happy as her day, and laughter learnt of friends, and gentleness, and, sorry, the last line is not that visible here. It ends with English haven. I'll just come to that. And think this heart, all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given, her sights and sounds, dreams happy as her day, and laughter learnt of friends and gentleness in hearts at peace under an English haven. Coming to the paraphrase of the poem, you see, this poet was a part of the army, British Army. He was on his way to the front with many other soldiers, but then some strange kind of illness struck him, and uh, he gradually passed away. His friends buried him where they could because it was not easy to bring back the body. But it is this poem becomes a kind of prediction of his death. You see, the same kind of sentiments are expressed in his poem. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. He says that if I should die, think that any corner of the foreign field, he might not die in England, that place where he dies is forever England. And this is not pertaining to him alone, it is pertaining to the soldiers who die while going to the front. There shall be that in that rich earth a richer dust concealed, and wherever he is buried, it will be a rich earth concealed, hidden in the richer dust. A dust whom England bore, shaped and made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam. This dust, this person who is now reduced to dust, he's been buried in some foreign soil. That part of dust will become England. So he reminds us that because of his body is buried there, he uh, is one. He himself is England, and it's England who gave him flowers to love and ways to roam. It's England which brought him up. The body of England's breathing English air. Look at the pride in being. When you utter your national anthem, how proud you feel, right? Similarly, this poet is talking about his own country. So it's a patriotic poem. With the body of England's breathing English air, he feels it's all body, it's the English body and it's breathing English air around. Though it's washed by rivers, it is blessed by the sons of home. It's washed by the rivers where he is buried, but is blessed by the sons of home. Suns, Suraj, of home. And think his heart, all evil shed away, pulse, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. And think what his heart will have. It will have shed all evil away. When a person is dying, he doesn't think about his enemies also. So he sheds away all evils. It will merge into an eternal mind, a pulse in the eternal mind. His body will merge into that final eternity. No less gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. And then he will wake up one day to give, to spread the English thoughts, to spread the thoughts which England gave him. Her sights and sounds, and also the sights, the beauty, the natural beauty of England. Dreams happy as her day, and laughter learnt of friends and gentleness, and the happiness that England gave him, and the laughter and the company of friends and the gentleness of those around him and the hearts of peace, in the hearts of peace around him. There's peace around him. See, he's a war poet, but he doesn't talk of war under an English heaven. English, England seems to be more of a heaven. Why? Because of all the good thoughts and of all the good scenery that uh, England gives to him, all the happiness that the country gives to him, all the friends and the gentleness and the peace around that he finds when he is alive in England. That is what makes the poem a great poem, a beautiful poem, and a poem by the war poet Rupert Brooke. He is what? It is just a brief recap. He feels that a day might come when he will die. He will die aboard a ship and he might be buried in some foreign land. He says the place where he'll be buried will itself become England. It might be a foreign land, but that place will become England. Why? Because his dust will be concealed there. His dust, his body will be hidden there, buried there. And what kind of dust is it? It's one which England bore, it's one which England shaped, it's one which England gave flowers, that is a part of nature, and it gave ways to roam, that is to decide what to do, what not to do. That will become, that place will become the body of England, and his dust will become the English air. Though it will be washed by the rivers, it will be blessed by the gods. It will be blessed by the sons of home. And think his heart, all evil shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. And what will happen? As he is buried there, all evil will be shed away from him, and he will become one with the eternal. He will only give back what England, the good thoughts that England has given to him. He will give back to the world the sights and sounds, that is, the natural beauty that was experienced by him when he was alive, and the dreams that England gave him, the laughter, the happiness, the friends around, the gentleness, the peace, and that all which made him feel that England was no less than heaven. Got it? This is the paraphrase of the poem. What is most beautiful about the poem? The sights, the sounds, the dreams, the laughter, the friends, the gentleness, all that is enough for him to be thankful, and that the thoughts that he can take while he dies. He elaborates on what England has granted to him. See, all that is granted to him: the sights and sounds, the dreams, the happiness, the laughter, the friends, the peace, the gentleness, all that England has given him. It is what makes English dust richer, and what in the end guarantees hearts at peace and under the English heaven. All these qualities make English dust richer. Where he is buried, that place, that dust will become richer, he says. So all these qualities make that English dust richer, and finally he gets peace under the English heaven. Even though he does not die in England, he gets the peace that one will get when he dies in England. See, this is a sonnet, and when later poets wrote sonnets, they started experimenting. Okay, this is another form of experimentation. By combining the Petrarchan and Shakespearean sonnets, uh, Rupert Brooke makes another experiment. It follows the rules of the sonnet, but in the rhyme scheme, it is more Shakespearean. In the terms of structure of ideas, the octave presents reflection, the sestet evaluates the reflection. In the first 8 lines, you will find the poet making a reflection: what will happen when he dies in a foreign field. And in the next 6 lines, he tries to evaluate, okay, this is why does he feel so proud of even if he dies in a foreign field. He says that it's all because of the qualities that England has given him. The first 8 lines is a reflection on the physical, that the idea of the soldier's dust buried in a foreign field. Then there is also a request to the mourners not to mourn his death, the readers, though there is this loss. But then in the last 6 lines, that is the sestet part of the poem, he says there is total redemption. Why? Because of the qualities, the dust uh, of the person buried in a foreign soil inherits from England. So it's total peace. It's peace. It's eternal peace, and he can rest under the English heaven, even though he doesn't die in England. The rhyme scheme is that of the Shakespearean sonnet, and the octave and the sestet consist of the three quatrains. Rhyming, check your rhyming, A B A B C D C D E F E F G G. As in the Shakespearean sonnet, the dominant meter is iambic. This is a bit about rhyme and meter. And finally, what possible question answers you have? Essay type answer, critical attempt or critical appreciation of Rupert Brooke's Soldier. What makes the soldier an apt war poem? Why? What are the poet's reflections on dying in a foreign field? Why does he not regret even dying on a foreign field? These are the possible questions. Try them. Read again and again. Read more. Experiment with the characteristic features of the sonnet, the rhyme pattern particularly, and you are ready to answer any questions on this poem. Thank you. See you. We'll take up the next poem in the next class.